Hello and welcome to Tell the People, a program about our Catholic faith with news and information in and around the Catholic Diocese of Lafayette. I'm Stephanie Bernard. In today's show, Trista Littell has an interview with Charles James about an upcoming Day of Reflection for African American men. Father Michael Champine's talk is about Immaculate Conception in the segment, What It Means to be Catholic. And in a conversation with Bishop Michael Gerald, Monsignor Richard Green interviews Bishop Gerald about another important topic. And now, Catholic news on this May 22nd weekend. The people of the Lafayette Diocese are invited and encouraged to attend any one of the upcoming prayer services before the start of the hurricane season. These services will provide an opportunity for the entire community to join together in prayer and awareness before the start of the 2011 hurricane season on June 1st. In the north, south, and west regions of the diocese, special services will be held in various locations on Thursday, May 26th. They will all begin at 6:30 p.m. St. Francis Caprini Mission Chapel in Kaplan will host a Mass. St. Matilda's Church in Eunice will host an ecumenical prayer service. St. Peter the Apostle Church in Four Corners will also host an ecumenical prayer service. The Lafayette Diocesan Office of Pro-Life Issues will host a one-day Come to the Well retreat on Saturday, June 4th at the Immaculata Center in Lafayette. This special day, which is centered on hope and restoration, will begin at 9 a.m. and conclude at 3 p.m. All participants must pre-register to the Office of Pro-Life Issues at 261-5607. Come to the Well is a retreat for those who have suffered the loss of a loved one by suicide, accidental death, infertility, miscarriage, illness, stillborn, SIDS, adoption placement, abortion, or any other loss of life. Ordinations to the priesthood is scheduled for June 11th at 10 a.m. in the Cathedral of St. John the Evangelist here in Lafayette. Bishop Michael Gerald will be officiating. 4 men will be ordained to the priesthood. They are Nathan Como, David Hebert, Jonathan Janice, and Garrett McIntyre. The Catholic Charismatic Renewal for the Diocese of Lafayette invites all to join them in a spirit-filled Eucharistic celebration of Pentecost on Saturday, June 11th at the Cathedral of St. John the Evangelist. Pre-Mass praise begins at about 6:30 p.m. and the Mass is scheduled for 7 p.m. Confessions will be held before Mass as priests are available. Coming up next, Trista Littell has an interview with Charles James about the Day of Reflection for African American men.
Welcome to Inside the Diocese, the interview segment of Tell the People. I'm Trista Littell, and with me here today is Charles James, who will be telling us about the African American Men's Conference that will take place in Opelousas. Welcome, Charles.
Thank you. Good morning.
Charles, what is the purpose of this Day of Reflection for African American men?
The purpose of the African Men Day of Reflection is to probe the hearts and the minds of black men, to promote healing and understanding so that we can live out our mission and purpose as men of God. And this conference will be a continuation of a dialogue that I think was spirit-led and certainly revealed a lot of the things that we were looking for that may help us to improve the service and the worship of men in the church.
Now, when and where will this Day of Reflection take place?
It will be at Holy Ghost Church in Opelousas on June the 4th. It begins at 8 o'clock and ends at 3 of the same day.
Now, will pre-registration be necessary for this?
Pre-registration will be necessary because we plan to, as we did last year, is to provide a breakfast and a lunch for the men that attend. We were blessed, I think, by God because we had in attendance over 140 men. And it was, again, I think it was spirit-filled the entire day.
Now, is there a fee?
It's going to be $10 to attend. And that's to take care of the food and the other stuff that's necessary to put it on.
Now, I know this is the second year the event takes place. Mm-hmm. Is this going to be an annual event?
Yes, it's going to be an annual event. Some of the feedback that we got, which was considerable and really needed, but some of the feedback that we got was that they would like to see it happen more than once a year. They wanted it to happen like once a quarter. I say the men that were there participating, many of them said that they would like to have it happen once a quarter. So that was a very good sign that they enjoyed, and it met the needs of the men that were there.
Did the ages vary?
The ages varied. We are hoping this year to, in fact, one of our missions is to attract young men from the ages of 18 to 21. We would like to target that group, but by no means do we want to eliminate all men. I mean, there were grandfathers there who brought their grandsons. There were fathers there who brought their sons and nephews. And it was just a wonderful day.
And so much wisdom to have the generations.
Certainly.
I know we were talking earlier about you have to understand where you've come from to know who you are and where you're going.
Yes.
So how beautiful to have the various ages there. Now, does the day consist of workshops and speakers?
We're planning and still in the planning stage. We're going to use the same format that we did last year, which consisted of 3 speakers and breakout sessions. Again, from the feedback that we got, the men would prefer to have a little more time sharing, to talk to each other and to listen to each other. So we're looking at possibly eliminating one of the speakers and just going with one in the morning and then have breakout sessions and then one in the afternoon and have breakout sessions in the afternoon, closing out with the liturgy.
Now, you were saying how many were surprised in their share time to find out that there were others who had the same feelings and experiences that they did. You want to talk a little bit about that?
We sometimes as men, it's not in our DNA, I like to say, because we're taught that we have to be the strong one. We have to be able to deal with almost anything that comes up. So you can't really share with each other how you actually feel, because it does, in fact, in some people's mind, show signs of weakness. I have learned that that's not at all the case.
Absolutely not.
You gain strength from sharing with others, because not only from your own perspective, but they also gain strength as well from the things that you share with them. So what we're hoping is that we can create an atmosphere where men will openly share their feelings, because from that we learn what the problems are, and hopefully can share with the church what those things are to make worship and service of men in our diocese and in our church a lot better than it is now.
Now, if someone wants to register for this day, how do they go about it?
It's on the website, the diocesan website, and of course, my numbers are on some flyers that we sent. What we did was we sent information, a packet of information to everyone that was in attendance at the first one, at the first conference, Day of Reflection, sorry. So hopefully they will share that information with others, and we're going to do some advertisement in the church bulletins as well, giving names and numbers, and I'll make my name and number available along with some of the other organizer so that if they need some more information or if they need need to register, then they could contact one of us.
And the diocesan website is www.diolaf.org for those that would want to know how to get to that website. And I went there and I actually downloaded the form, so it's quite easy to do that if anyone has an interest that might be viewing today. Well, we thank you for being with us here today, Charles.
Thank you for having me.
And we certainly want the public to be a part of that. So don't forget to join us for this day of reflection.
Thank you.
Thank you, folks. Stay tuned. There's more on Tell the People.
Coming up next, Father Michael Champine's talk is about Immaculate Conception in the segment, What It Means to be Catholic.
Good morning, and welcome back to Tell the People in our session, What It Means to be Catholic. We're treating presently in this month of May our four Marian dogmas, what it means to be Catholic concerning the Blessed Virgin Mary, that the Church has infallibly defined four doctrinal points about the Blessed Virgin Mary. We heard already about Mary being ever virgin, and then Mary being the Mother of God, her divine maternity, the Theotokos. And then today we want to look at Mary's Immaculate Conception, the third of these four Marian dogmas. And this term Immaculate Conception, Mary being conceived immaculate, not that she gave birth to Jesus immaculately, no, that's the virgin birth, but when Mary was conceived in St. Anne, her mother's womb, that from the first moment of her existence in time, Mary was preserved from every stain of original sin, and then by special grace from all personal sin her whole life long. So we call that the Immaculate Conception. When the Blessed Virgin Mary appeared, this is a private revelation, at Our Lady of Lourdes, subsequently approved by the Church, the Blessed Virgin Mary, when she was asked her name by Saint Bernadette Soubirous, the Blessed Virgin Mary said, I am the Immaculate Conception. And so she took that title. That was because at that particular time was when Pope Pius IX declared by solemn decree, ex cathedra, we say from the chair, invoking the charism of Christ's infallibility to teach that Mary was immaculately conceived. This follows on the heels theologically of Mary being Mother of God, because for all eternity God decreed that Mary would be Mother of God because God wanted to redeem us from within the human race, and He was going to take flesh, so the incarnation would happen. He wanted to have that human nature from within humanity. And so Mary was decreed to be Mother of God. And because she's Mother of God, came with it special gifts that were appropriate to her role as Mother of God. And this one we call the Immaculate Conception. Mary would be full of grace. In fact, the scriptures we have in Luke chapter 1, verse 28, we call the angelic salutation. It's our Hail Mary prayer. We say, Hail Mary, full of grace, the Lord is with you. But actually, the angel says, Hail, full of grace one, or plein de grâce, we say in our French Hail Mary, full of grace. In Greek, the term is kekaritomene. Kekaritomene is, most highly favored, most highly graced one. It's a unique salutation in the Scripture, and in the Greek this is a perfect passive participle, which means that it's something that has been done to a person in the past that has its ramifications continuing into the present and future. That's what we mean by Mary being all holy. And so from the earliest days of the Church understood that Mary was all holy, that perfect creature. And as the Church's reflection grew in reflecting upon Mary's being this Panagia, or all holy one, or the Sanctissima, we sing the old song, O Sanctissima,